Greetings guys and gals, this is Jaedong bringing you the best in esports. Today we have StarCraft Brood War, the Shinhan Winners League. This is going to be SKT1 versus Hwaseung, Jaedong versus Bisu on Fortress. Spawning at the 12 o'clock position is the Orange Zerg, Jaedong, and at the 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish position, we have the Protoss player in teal, Bisu. And I know that this is like super late, this is about a week and a half late, but I got some requests to do it, and I finally found VOD for this cast, or for this game, I guess. And so I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to cast it. And before we get started, I just want to say a few things. Remember to go check out the Pop MSL Finals on Deja Vu's channel. We did a dual comm together, which is pretty freaking awesome. The audio is kind of weird. I'm super loud. I think that's on my part, definitely. Actually, I know that's on my part, not on his part. So that's my fault on that, guys. And what else? Oh, this Saturday at a LAN party, I am playing, not in the LAN party, but at the LAN party in the CSL, I'm going to be playing the University of Waterloo, set 1 versus CSU versus Waterloo, I guess. And guess who's playing me? That's right, Combat X is playing me, and so probably, maybe live streaming, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to put out that VOD, and so hopefully I can put out the, pull out the win, because I did actually kind of beef with him a little bit. Not directly with him, but I don't really agree with a lot of what he does. So that's that. Combat X, me versus Combat X. It should be a good matchup. What else? What else? Well, for Jaedong at least we see a pool before hatch. But other than that, what else did I have to say to you guys? Probe is going to see that, sees that there is no expansion, and is going to scout the pool pretty soon, so he's going to have to put down the forge first. Possibly a cannon before Nexus. He should be okay, though. Looks like we see a hatch going down finally for Jaedong. So I think he's going to probably go for something like Nexus, Cannon, Gateway. He does see that Zerglings aren't immediately coming to his base. He still has a larva there, so he's going to know that he's definitely going to be okay putting down the Nexus. It looks like he has put down the Nexus and is going to follow up with a gate, I'm assuming. There was one more thing. Oh yeah, if you guys know, anyway, sees that the drone morphs out of the eggs. 2 Zerglings are all that Jaedong made, so no early pressure. Might even go for the gateway before the cannon there. That'd be a little bit more risky, but not really too bad. Probe doing a little bit of harassment. But if you guys know about anything about sound and sound quality, stuff like that, please PM me, please talk to me. Looks like he did go for the cannon first, because I need to know how to kind of fix the issues that I'm having. I know you guys, a lot of you guys don't notice them, but if you use a headset or any type of headphones, you probably will notice. Jaedong has gone for the double expansion, so he's going to be at 3 bases to Bisu's 2. Very, very standard PVZ play. Bisu playing very much on top of his game lately, and Jaedong a little bit of a slip-up, fell in the power rankings on TL, so that's kind of sad. TT. Oh yeah, I just want to say, you guys are awesome. I know I say this kind of frequently, but really, you guys are so awesome. It's not even funny. You guys help me out with so much, and critiques and criticisms and donations and other ways. It just really makes it worth it for me. Probe getting picked off by those 2 Zerglings, but is going to see the layer timing. But yeah, it's just so awesome to have subs that really support you and really have your back on various different things. And the reason I got that dual comm with Deja Vu is definitely because of you guys, and hopefully I'll hit 400 subs soon. Hopefully I'll hit 400 subs soon. Wow. But yeah. Also, I know I've been kind of lackluster in my commentaries lately. They haven't really been the greatest. I've kind of missed a lot of things in terms of strategy, in terms of what's been going on. Looks like we have Stargate and second Insulimeter going down for Bisu. Overlord, I'm not sure if it sees that. It could assume as much, though. It's going to assume that Corsairs are going to be out. Layer popping soon, and so we're going to have to see if he's going to go for something like Spire Tech, or if he's going to go for something like Lurker Push or Hydra Push, something like that. Honestly, I like the opting to go for a Spire, because you just really need the air. It looks like he is going first battery, but you really need the air to deal with Corsairs. You can't lose that many Overlords. But players are really having a tough time dealing with Protoss lately. It just seems like from the games I've watched, at least. I know the Zealot rush really isn't... Wow, that Zealot doing a really good micro. Bisu is just showing his multitasking ability right there. But I know a lot of Zerg players that have been having a little bit of tough time with the new kind of Protoss that people are playing. It's a lot more Zealot based, not nearly as much Dragoons. You get Archons a little bit later. And although Protosses have kind of veered away from that rush with +1 Zealot speed and everything, they still are going for the Zealot heavy build, which is very, very good versus Zerg players. Oh man, it's been a long day. Just had a Japanese test, and I think I did pretty well. I'm gonna go watch the my old high school team play a playoff game in basketball, so that should be fun as well. Whoa, we're having some issues here. Bloop, I'm going to... But yeah, sorry about that. You guys, what I was saying is you guys are awesome. You guys support me. And I'm so glad I have subs like you guys to keep me honest and keep me on my toes. And we've just gone so far together. I know that sounds super cliche. Corsair is now out. Second Corsair coming from the main of Bisu. Looks like he's just going to do some scouting. Really kind of needs to pick off an Overlord though. Here comes the Scourge popping out. Might not even be able to pick off an Overlord, so that's kind of bad for Bisu. Didn't see if he got one earlier. It didn't look like it though. There is one Overlord out in the field that he probably could take. He does have 2 Corsairs, so if he splits them up, Jaedong's just going to have to split up his Scourge, and there's that much more chance that Bisu's going to be able to get away with this. He also has one at his the front of his natural. Zealot's getting a little bit over anxious here. Needs to be very, very careful. Oh man, one of the Corsairs hitting. Not losing a Corsair, but very, very close. Bisu needs to be careful though. Needs to go over and help out his Stargate, because there are 2 Scourge right over that. And there's the Bisu. Oh man, the Scourge barely gets the Corsair. And that's just kind of humorous, to be completely honest there. But what I was saying is that I just freaking love you guys. It's pretty much Zealot getting surrounded. Uh-oh, Bisu. Losing his Zealot, losing Corsair. Slipping up a little bit, but really, he's okay. It's not that big of a deal. But what I was saying is, I'm sorry if my commentators have been lackluster recently. I've been under a lot of stress, just probably mostly due to school stuff, and it's been a really rough week for me. And what I've kind of decided is, if I'm like not in a good mood, or if I'm not having a good day, I probably shouldn't do a commentary. I know I say that I'm going to do one a day, and I'm going to try to keep to that. But the fact of the matter is that if I'm not in a good mood, it's not going to be a good commentary. And I think quality over quantity is very, very big. So I'm just going to do hopefully the best commentaries I can, and just put out the ones that are very, very good, and not necessarily make it an everyday thing. I'm just still going to try to make it every day. Don't worry, guys. Hopefully it will be every day. But if I'm in a really bad mood, if I'm really stressed out, I'm probably not going to do one. That's just how it's going to go. Zerglings do see those Zealots moving out. And he needs to be careful not to get surrounded. Bisu's very much in trouble of getting his Zealots surrounded. Here come Mutalisks. They are going to be able to probably pick off these Zealots. Bisu, where's your army, man? It's down at the lower half of the map, it looks like. But what is he doing? He's just kind of running these Zealots in. And, you know, those Zealots are kind of resilient to Mutalisks, but unfortunately they can't attack back, so they're just going to have to run around. They do have speed upgraded, but oh my gosh, Bisu, what is going on? Hiding a Zealot at the right corner there. Not entirely sure what that's about. He does have a lot of Scourge as well as Mutalisks in the air, and Bisu really doesn't have an army. He's going to have to build maybe one more cannon. Jaedong looks like he's not going to go for the offensive, though. He's just going to kind of maintain Bisu while picking up this base at the 9 o'clock. This is really, really interesting play. I'm not sure why Jaedong really doesn't want to move in. He could move into the main and just do a little bit of harassment there. There's really not enough cannons, but there are a ton of Corsairs. Here comes the engagement. Scourge cloning on all these Corsairs. Corsairs going down, but they're just enough with the Archon to deter that Mutalisk army, and not really the best place to engage right there. Once he saw those Corsairs, I really wouldn't have engaged. I probably would have gone maybe to the natural to do a little bit of damage. But that just Corsairs absolutely own Mutalisks. Corsairs are so good against Mutalisks. And you just saw how many Scourge he had, and how not successful that was. I mean, he still has a fairly decent amount of Mutalisks, but Bisu has a fairly decent amount of Corsairs in the air as well, and that with that Archon, they're just going to be able to do so much damage with that splash. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Bisu macroing up more Zealots, and it looks like he's taking that base in the middle southern position. So honestly, I think Bisu's okay. At first I thought he might be a little bit pressured, but I definitely think he's okay with that Zealot mix, with the Corsairs and with the Archons. Definitely, he just needs to keep up with the Corsairs because he needs that mobility. Zealots are very, very mobile, but they don't attack up. They can't jump that high, unfortunately. So he's definitely going to need those Corsairs until he goes. I mean, even if he goes Dragoons, Mutalisks are a lot more mobile than Dragoons are comparatively. That Archon's going to be able to pick off that Overlord, and honestly, I don't know who's ahead. I don't know who's ahead. I think that Jaedong would be very, very smart to tech to Hive sooner than later. He definitely needs a textbook. Here come the Mutalisk yet again. Scourge cloning on the Corsairs. Are the Corsairs going to go down? It looks like there's only one more Corsair. No, two more. Maybe three more Corsairs. Uh-oh. Two. No, it's just two. It was just two Corsairs. At the same time, Bisu's going into the main of Jaedong, but oh my gosh, what is going on? There's Mutalisks all over his base. Looks like that got cleaned up though, and Zealots just keep pressing in. The Sunkens are going to be enough, possibly, if he reinforces with these Zerglings. He had to put off drones off the line to defend this, to help kind of block that off. But oh my gosh, Bisu doing a ton of damage. You see how low that saturation is at that natural now. Jaedong is at 4 bases to Bisu 3, picking up another one at the top left. But man, oh man, Bisu doing a lot of damage there, and I think that was a very, very good attack. However, he doesn't have a lot of anti-air. He's going to have to build more cannons in his main, just going for pure Zealots, it looks like, in Archons, which is not going to be the best versus the huge freaking Mutalisk army. He does have an Archon morphing in, so that's going to help him with the AA, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. If Jaedong can get a good split on those Mutalisks and get him away from the splash damage, he's definitely going to be able to do a ton of damage. We see more Templar coming in. Hydralisk Den has been up, so he could switch to Lurker Tech when he goes to Hive. I haven't seen a Queen's Nest, so don't know exactly when that Hive switch is going to take place. Bisu running 2 Zealots around just to see exactly what's going on, see if Hive Tech is being researched, and probably put down a little bit of a pressure here to picking off 2 drones. Might be able to pick off a third, and drones, losing drones is just so huge in Brood War. Very, very costly to lose those drones, simply because you don't have inject larva like in StarCraft 2, and you have to really just kind of base your army off of the 3 larvae that you get from each hatch, which is very, very, it just sits on a knife's edge, really. It's just really, really close. He is at 5 hatches, I believe, unless he's got an in-base hatch somewhere. He's at 5 bases at the very least. Might have 6 hatches at this point in the game, and the thing froze on me again. Oh my gosh, but we're keep going, and I am screen capping off the nevake account. It is just so much easier to do that. Hopefully we don't have any more issues with the lag or anything, because that would be absolutely terrible. I don't like that. It looks like we're going on fine though. More Zerglings coming out, and I think he's probably going to want to go for a Ling Lurker and switch tech. Okay, I'm going to pause it and let it go again. So hopefully after like 10 minutes of waiting, we're not going to see any more YouTube lag issues. But Jaedong reinforcing from the south, and Bisu just keeping the pressure on, man. He has a lot of Zealots in there. Mutalisks reinforcing, though. He probably should get those Archons on those Mutalisks. The Archons are busy dealing with these Zerglings and might get picked off there. Bisu just keeping up with the attack and going into Jaedong's main. There are Corsairs to reinforce this. Probably should focus on the Mutalisks though. Those Corsairs really aren't doing a whole heck of a lot. They are going to pick off some Overlords maybe. If he actually focuses on one, they're going to be able to pick off some Overlords, and this is going to supply cap Jaedong. Be really bad for him. He's going to have to use his larva on Overlords and not more units. He does have a good force of Mutalisks though, and oh, Bisu looks like he just like ran right through that and is opting not to go in for the attack. He just doesn't think he has enough Corsairs, I believe, and so he's going to have to back up. Oh man, Bisu. A little bit of a misstep there, honestly. I think that he could have engaged at least for a little bit, but instead he just kind of ditches the whole Corsair army and runs right through them. Not really the smartest thing. Dragoons, that might be the first Dragoon popping out, but Dragoon's coming nonetheless. It looks like we have Layer Tech morphing in for Jaedong as well, so pretty soon he's going to have Defilers, he's going to have Swarm, and it's going to be a whole different ball game. Jaedong just taking the map. Bisu probably should expand to the right-hand side of the map. It looks like that's what he's doing, trying to expand at the 3 o'clock position. This might get taken out by these Milas, though. There are 2 cannons, and the 2 cannons get cancelled. The 2 other cannons get cancelled. The Nexus gets cancelled, and very, very good contained by Jaedong. Bisu, I don't know what he can do, really. He's got a big ball of units, which is going to be decently hard to break. Oh man, Corsairs coming in from every direction and just cleaning up that army. Bisu's still going in. Here comes the Mutalisk. Okay, Storm there. Okay, Storm again. There's only one more Corsair, and this is going to be dealt with, and I don't like how this looks for Bisu. Hive Tech's coming out pretty soon. We do have the first Hydras coming out now. Going to be morphing into Lurkers, and if he doesn't do a ton of damage here, I don't know how well it's going to go for him, but good Storm on all of those Mutalisks, doing a very, very nice job. The Mutalisks trying to pick off these Dragoons, not going to be enough, really. And with this little timing attack, when Jaedong's switching over to Hive, he might be able to take the game. He doesn't have an Observer, unfortunately. He does have Storm, however, so he's going to be able to storm those Lurkers. But that's pretty much going to be it. He doesn't have the Observer. He needs to really get a Robotics so his Zealots can take out the Lurkers, which do quite a lot of damage, even to Zealots. And he just needs to do certain things, and it doesn't look like he's doing them. I mean, he's doing quite a lot of damage in the main, doing quite a lot of damage at the natural, but you have to remember that Jaedong has the left-hand side of the map, and Bisu looks like he dropped off a shuttle, maybe? Or no, he just went to that bottom left. Just kidding. To build his Nexus. Creep Colony's trying to go up at Jaedong's front, really not working. Bisu might win with this Protoss Ball. The Protoss Ball is just so hard to break. 3 Archons in the mix with Zealots and Dragoons. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with this. There is no Observer still, so trying to splash the units to kill off that Lurker, not really able to do so. But yeah, Bisu expanding at that bottom left. If he can hold this base, he's definitely still going to be in it. And he's done quite the significant amount of damage. There's really no mining at 2 of the bases of the 3, so that's really, really good for Bisu. Going to be able to take out the Spire as well as the spawning pool. Probably might even be able to take out the Hive. Needs to be careful though. Looks like he's going to go for this left-hand side. Going to just stop his attack on the main, but no, it looks like he might be turning his army yet again, so really kind of being a little bit undecisive. Bisu doesn't really know what he wants to do. It looks like +3 for attack there for Bisu, which is going to be very, very good for him. Doesn't have any armor upgrades yet, and if we look at Jaedong's units soonish, I can tell you what the upgrades are on Jaedong's Zerg. But yeah, Jaedong's still trying to reestablish this front that his natural and his main are on, but really there's no way that Lurker's going to be super annoying, but splashing his own units yet again, doing a very, very nice job. Still does not kill the Lurker though. Attacking his own Zealot there again, and finally the Observer comes in, going to be able to take this out. I think that he's deciding, you know what, it's not really worth it to try to kill my Zealot just to kill that Lurker when my Observer is right there. Zergling's coming in, and they take out cannons so quickly. Probes being pulled off the line to kind of deal with this, but 3 cannons just going down super quick, storming the Zerglings. Very nice job. Also storming one of his probes. I guess that's the casualties of war, but the Hive is going to go down, and that's going to be so critical. Really, the Defiler Mound needs to go down like now if he's going to put one down, because there goes the Hive. No Hive any longer. Jaedong trying to expand to the top right, and now I think the tables have turned. Bisu is very, very much far ahead. Jaedong just doesn't really have the production anymore. He's down to 3 bases, trying to get up his 4th, but Bisu's at 4 bases right now. Also has DTs in the mix, and there's so much tech from Bisu. There's just so much tech. Protoss is super versatile on their tech switches and what they're able to do that it's absolutely ridiculous, keeping Jaedong on his toes. Jaedong at the moment can only really spare minerals on Zerglings, and so I don't know. It's going to be really hard for Jaedong to come back from this, in my opinion. You see that Protest Ball just in the middle of the map, kind of pretty much owning it. So many cannons going up for Bisu. He's probably going to be able to hold that base. In my opinion, there's not enough Mutalisks there. Here comes the attack at the front. Well, I guess now this is the front for Jaedong. Okay, so wow, overstorming a little bit there. Bisu's getting a little bit storm happy, storming like 4 times for just a handful of Zerglings. This front's definitely going to go down. The Evo Chamber's going to go down. Oh, huge storms on the mineral line, killing 2 Overlords in the process, and everyone knows that Bisu is going to win this game. The Observer's just looking for extra bases. This is going to be pretty much it. I mean, there's no way that Jaedong is going to come back from this now. He doesn't have any production. He doesn't really have production structures either. That's why he's just been making Zerglings, is because he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the structures. He's trying to get his economy back up, trying to kind of drone up just a little bit, but Bisu really hasn't given him time. And again, Jesus, man, overstorming like crazy. Storm was really unnecessary versus those 2 Zerglings. 5 Archons, wow, I can't count. 5 Archons in the mix. And that's going to pretty much deter any type of Zergling attack that Jaedong wants to put on. Just so much damage. Jaedong GG's. Bisu at the top of his game. And Jaedong, man, he's getting worn out. Get some sleep, Jaedong. You definitely need it, because Hwaseung does not treat you very well as their star. Anyways, that's going to be it for me, guys. Remember, my game against Combat X, the MSL P-Pop Finals. I said that in reverse for some reason, but those are on Deja Vu's account, and I'm gonna go render this and go play some SC2 probably. Lates.